composition to go up against the enemy team. So Goats, is kind of that really good foundational comp. There's a lot of variations, there's a lot of additions you can add, substitutions you can swap out. So that's going to be the basis for many of the team comps I expect to see today.
Well, looking at what they're representing right now, we're seeing that Dive Goats from a second win. And the reason, again, why it's called Dive Goats is because of that Winston that Akawa is showing right now. But both teams are in spawns. We don't know exactly what they're going to play until those gates open. But one of my favorite things about Mecha Base here is that the first fight usually happens on the high ground.
Yes, exactly. Both of the teams kind of staging, going up those stairs, meeting each other on the high ground before dropping down as the objective opens up. They're getting a great shot of Panker, who is on the Reinhardt versus Akawa's Winston. So the Winston, already being brought very low, has to escape to the safety of his team.
Yeah, and Panker's going to get the first kill. Look at that, almost a 30% charge, and without that particle barrier, he would be dead right now, so really good enabling from that Zarya, who is also popping off right now. Gladiators Legion is going to win this fight. The point is open, and they will take it. Yeah,
when you are running that Reinhardt variation of Ghost, one of the best things that they can do is just pressure that objective, walk straight onto the point, and force the enemy team to come at you. And unfortunately, second win, they weren't quite able to dance around Glads as safely as they would have wanted. Akawa now swapping onto his own Reinhardt, going to be providing a little bit more of that static shielding.
Well, Karkar has amped it up. They all have really fast legs right now, but will it be enough to get them onto the point? Far is going to have that rally. Dalton will have that Graviton Surge. That is such a fast Graviton Surge. Far is going to try to get that shield slam on to the opposing Reinhardt. That's going to open them up for a self-destruct that might come in a little bit later. Rally coming in on both sides. Finger was done. No confirmation damage from that. Self-destruct is there. Will it get anybody? Yes, it does. It gets Haku, and that is going to be it for second win on this fight.
A beautiful, classic, clean setup right there from Gladiators Legion. Winning that first fight gave them such an advantage in that ultimate economy. As you said, Boop, Dalton already had the Graviton Surge. You have Panker charging, not only finds the kill onto Frill, but sets up that self-destruct kill. So Glad's looking very strong, and they'll still have tools to face Second Wind in this next fight. Biggest thing here for Second Wind will be Akawa's Earth Shatter. If he can get a very good one set up potentially by Frill, it might be great.
Oh, the Graviton Surge coming from Second Wind, though, was great as well. They're going to get the first 3 kills of this fight, opening up the objective for him, which is just in time as Gladiators Legion really close to 75%. Once they clean this up, they will flip this, and Second Wind's going to be looking good for a while with those 4 ultimates.
Exactly. Once you get control of the point, it's a lot easier to hold it. You don't really need those big team fight setups, Boop, as long as you can get an early kill, stagger out those late kills, as we see Karkar getting that Boop kill onto Gods. Glads, they used Rolf's Transcendence very early on in that fight, so they didn't have that ultimate online when Mirror chose to grab them. So Second Win with 4 ultimates to their name, nearly 5 online. They're looking strong to hold this, potentially even eclipse Glad's point percentage.
Yeah, the reason why we talk about these ultimates is because the order and how they use them is so important to this team composition. The Earthshatter is there, Self-Destruct is as well, but neither getting anything. Rolf is going to first blood Frill on this one, but the DMAC on the Gods could prove to be even more important for Second Win. They're down to ultimates now. The Transcendence has been popped. Karkar is going to go ahead and use that sound barrier, and Gladiators Legion isn't dying though. Second Win had more health, and with the Transcendence from Gladiators Legion, they will be taking the advantage in this fight. Karkar getting taken very, very low. He's just going to be there for stall, but the good thing is for Second Win is they will have enough time to come back and attack again.
Yeah, they will have one more chance to take their bite at this point. Mecha Base, Glads though looking strong here. They did expend both of their support ults, so you would like to have something online defensively speaking, but Panker has that Earth Shatter ready all online here. Second Wind, Mirror will have that Graviton Surge. It is going to be a tank CC battle, and oh, it's 8!
Yeah, the Graviton Surge was eaten. Karkar is on the ground taking a nap. Panker's gonna go in and charge right into him. Akawa will get charged as well, and the trades are there. Gods will be DMAC, but that's gonna be the only thing that Second Win is going to get in this fight so far, as Gladiators Legion looking strong. The overtime wig has gone down. The self-destruct needs to be absolutely enormous, and it is not. The mech is back though, so Second Win's going to be able to stall just a little bit longer. Once Haku's Transcendence did go out, they were able to take him down, and Fried's going to go down as well. The pile drive is there. Self-destruct now from Gladiators Legion. Earthshatter though from Second Wind made things just a little bit interesting in the hallway, but they were unable to get to the point. Gladiators Legion will go up 1-0 here on Busan.
great round right there from Gladiators. Hey, you know, Earthshatter, sometimes you do it just for the style points. Desperation Hammond didn't do quite that much for second wind here. Glads, they had excellent ultimate rotation. You always want to have something in the bank because, you know, that fight is never done until it really is done. And Control can go to that 199% point. So you really want to be ready and willing to face what the enemy team can bring. One of the worst things that can happen to that Goats v Goats mirror composition is getting taken off guard by the enemy team and rolled by their death ball. Now as we open up on downtown, it's going to be some angry gorillas facing off this time around. Both Panker and Akawa swapping onto that Winston. So with these dive tanks, they're a lot more squishy. Positioning is going to be key here. Panker already getting taken incredibly low, but does escape.
Got really close to 100 health, but I think the focus on them made them not focus and peel for that backline as Dalton is going to pick off Haku on that Zenyatta. Gladiators Legion looking pretty good, but the point's not open just yet. There's going to be a little bit of time for Haku to come back, but with Fried going out of that mech, it's not looking very good for second win as Gladiators Legion will take this first point.
Yeah, the same holds true for Dive Goats as it does the regular version. You really need all 6 members up, alive, healthy, and contributing in order to take the maximum best fight you can. Fried does get back into mech though, so second win, they're not losing too much time, just 15% to Gladiator's name right now.
Kawa's trying to get into the back line and get Zarya low. Will it be effective? Far's going to get the kill on to Frill, so there's not going to be a shield bash to open things up for second win. Akawa is really close to that Primal Rage, and Fried did just get that self-destruct. By looking at the ultimate economy on Gladiators Legion, they are way ahead.
Yeah, one of the benchmarks that you can tell how well a team is doing is, you know, where the Zaryas are sitting, Graviton Surge charge-wise, and Dalton will be ahead in this case. Far pops the rally, gives a little bit more cushion.
All right, we're going to see those ultimates go down. Dalton has that Graviton Surge, and if he has a big one, he can get his team up to 70%. The Graviton Surge coming from here will happen first. Doesn't really get anybody in it. Let's see who will be the next to pop that sound barrier, and it's going to be Pooks, and the Transcendence from Haku is going to come out as well. The Graviton Surge is out from Gladiators Legion. The self-destruct is there. Will it be big? And yes, it will, as it gets 3 kills. Gods from above, actually from horizontally that time, gets that self-destruct triple kill.
Yeah, that is a horizontal reposition them all the way back into spawn. A beautiful combo coming through from Gladiators Legion. Great setup from Dalton and Gods with that throughput damage. Second win now, you know, very dangerous position. They have one more shot at this point where they're going to give up a very early map loss to Gladiators Legion. You don't want to start off week 1 with a loss to your name here. Akawa goes deep.
The sound barrier means that the engage is on. Haku's going to get the first pick on Defar, and this is the biggest opening second win has had all around here on a downtown, but will they be able to take everyone else out? Akawa does have that Primal Rage, and this is a really good opportunity to knock them off of this map and get those boop kills. I do love them. It is my name. Zarya taken very, very low. Karkar is going to get the kill on it to a Panker, and look at this, Evie. Second win looking good right now. They will take this point, but how long will they hold it?
Yeah, that's always the question when you are running these mirror compositions, especially Goats v Goats. You may have gotten control of the point, but unless you have those ultimates in your back pocket, you're not going to be holding onto it for too much longer. But second win, they are well stocked. They got not only the rally, but the Transcendence from Haku coming online in just a second, and that Graviton Surge from Mirror. That's going to give them a big chance here. They can potentially camp Gladiators Legion, catch them off guard.
Rally coming out from a second win. The charge stun onto Mirror is not going to be very effective. Far could be taken very low, and he's going to be taken so low, he's going back to a spawn. Transcendence pop from Gladiators Legion. They're already down a person, and they were first to transcend, so that's going to be a huge disadvantage for them for the rest of this fight, and that's exactly why we see second win aggressing them into their spawn.
Yeah, second win, they know that they can push their advantage here safely. Akawa does have that Primal Rage online, you know, to get himself out of any sticky situations should he need to, but second win not going to be overextending, overstaying their welcome here. Both Karkar and Pooks have that sound barrier online. Of course, the question always is that timing. When are you going to be popping it?
A amp it up means that we're going to see some action self-destruct coming from Gladiators Legion. Will it be as big as the last one? No, it will not. God's going to have to get back in that mech and lose that sound barrier shield, but hey, you get more HP. Primal Rage is coming from both Winstons at this point. They're just playing fisticuffs with each other. Panker's is going to run out a little bit sooner, and Gladiators Legion is going to take Rolf's Transcendence as well. This is a banger of a fight, my friends. Panker's going to get the first kill, and look at this! Fried Winner is going to get the triple kill on that self-destruct as well.
Oh, that's one of the crispiest wins I've seen in a while, Boop. And as we say here, it is not just about winning, but it is about sending a message. Gods, I'll show you how to self-destruct. Second win, they're now ticking up towards 90%. They're going to have that rally to provide that armor, as well as Haku's Transcendence coming online. Rolf is actually going to swap onto the Moira just for that little extra bit of sustain. Try and get Gladiators Legion through this overtime.
Here we go. Dalton's going to try to get that Graviton Surge and keep this round for Gladiators Legion. He's getting taken down very, very low. Mira's going to take him out, and without that Graviton Surge, Gladiators Legion is going to be an uphill battle for this fight. And look at this, another kill coming from Mira. It means that second win, it could take this round. We're here at 99-99 in overtime. It couldn't get any closer than this, but Gladiators Legion right now is just stalling. They haven't gotten a lot of kills so far, but the self-destruct could be big. Will it? No, it will not. The Transcendence, though, came out from second win, so no support ultimates until Lucio does get that sound barrier. Pooks will go down, and any support kill in this situation is absolute devastation for that team. If Wolf is going to be able to get that coalescence, it could be a different story for Gladiators Legion, especially since Haku is down himself. Karkar was able to get that sound barrier. Earthshatter is coming from Gladiators Legion, knocks Mirror and that Fried Winner onto that ground, the pin into the side. But now, look at this. With all of those ultimates, with all of those cycles, second win is still in charge of this fight. All they need to do is clean it up, Evie.
Yeah, and a massive broom coming through here. Gods are just a couple of support players left from the side of Glads. There's a Desperation Sombra coming through from Dalton, but with overtime having lasted so long, the wick burns down in just the blink of an eye, and second win managed to tie things up here 1-1.
So we're going to see a round 3 here on Busan. We're going to be going to Sanctuary, or my favorite, you know, the group drum circle for this map, but things cannot be closer right now, Ham.
Yeah, and this is actually really, really good news for second win. Remember last season, they were at the bottom. They were actually the very last ranked team out of all of NA contenders, and the fact that they're coming back in their first match of week 1 with so much fire, you know, really bodes very well for the rest of the series and hopefully for the rest of their prospects in this season. But as we open up, it looks like it's going to be two Reinhardts once again facing off, and this main tank battle so far has been very pivotal for both sides. You really want to see good, duplicitous bubble usage here. Those enemy teams are going to be watching for when you use that ally bubble to cleanse the potential Discord orb off of your main tank, and if they know that you don't have it, that's going to be the go signal.
So Mirror's not going to have a barrier to cleanse the rest of his team for another 5 seconds or so, as he had to use it on the Reinhardt at the beginning of this fight. But as of right now, Karkar is going to get his counterpart, and second win's actually going to be winning some of those ultimate battles, but Gladiators is going to be even further ahead. Panker almost has an Earth Shatter, Ham.
That is incredible ultimate generation for a Reinhardt right there. Gladiators, you saw them. Hey, the Discord orb comes down onto our Reinhardt. Maybe we don't have all the cooldowns that we want to take a full-on Reinhardt to Reinhardt battle, so they just back up, cede a little bit of that space, and once those cooldowns come back online, that's when they rubber band back into the face of second win, and they're going to be able to tick up towards 10% already.
Yeah, Gladiators Legion has better ultimates right now. The Earth Shatter is there, and it's going to be a moderately big one, and hitting the Transcending Zenyatta is not going to do much other than position him closer to his team. That's a tactical reposition from Panker there. Earth Shatter coming from the other side is going to be a little bit bigger, and now look at this. Second win might have an opportunity, but no, Krill is going to go down, and Gladiators Legion says, hey, we took your grab, and we're going to give you the spawn.
Exactly. Second win right here, coming back with a vengeance. That was beautiful Earth Shatter setup from both of the Brigidas. Unfortunately, though, it will be Akawa winning out that hammer battle this time around. Gladso, they still got, you know, 43% to their name. That's not bad at all, but they have to know they're going to likely have to take a couple of eco pushes here coming up against the pretty impressive ultimate bank from Second Wind. They're going to have that Transcendence online once again. These days, such an important ultimate.
The self-destruct is out for a second win, and it gets far, and Gods is a mech. So big deal here is that second win is going to win this fight pretty cleanly. Get one ultimate, rally is there, but it doesn't really matter when you use that, as the armor does stay forever until you need it, but Haku still has that Transcendence.
Yeah, and that is a crucial ultimate right here. A great opener just to buy a little bit of time. Second win know that they had the disadvantage in that fight. They are going to try catch Glads off guard, and that self-destruct worked beautifully, set up, I believe, by a boop from Karkar. Now Glads are going to have that Graviton Surge online as well.
All right, Mirror, is this going to be a big grab? No, it will not. It won't even exist, and it was chomped up by that D.Va. Transcendence coming from Haku, keeping Second Wind alive during this fight. They have passed Gladiators Legion in terms of percentage, but far with that first kill means Gladiators Legion has an opening to retake this point as a 6v5 on the objective. Panker taking below half health, but he has that Earth Shatter. But Second Wind should know that this is coming. Sound Barrier is out and is blocked. Earthshatter, though, is going to go on the other team with the self-destruct. That's going to be 2 more kills for God on that self-destruct. Gladiators Legion will be taking this as an objective.
I don't think that that was even necessarily a combo Glads was looking for right there. It was all just heads-up play from Panker. His finger was hovering over that Q key. He saw Gods forced to pop that self-destruct, and he smashed that Earthshatter down. He saw that opening, and it worked out beautifully for Gladiators right there. However, they did expend almost everything that they had in order to try and retake that point. So with Second Wind very close to a few of these crucial ultimates, it's looking a little bit risky for Glads here.
Hey, but they could potentially, if they lose this fight, come back and try to get another one. And by that time, Gladiators Legion might have the ultimate that they need, as Rolf is coming up on that Transcendence. Dalton will have that Graviton Surge in no time, but Mirror is going to go ahead and drop his and get 2 of them. The pin onto Panker is not going to be enough to kill him because of that Transcendence. Far's going to get the first kill again, and he seems to be getting those first bloods on his opposing Brigitte, and that is a big deal. Panker is going to get that Fire Strike kill on to Akawa. Is this Earthshatter going to be necessary? It doesn't look like he might use it for fancy stuff at their spawn, but this is looking great for Gladiators Legion.
Fancy stuff, deadly stuff right here. Glad they know they only have a few more seconds here. Earthshatter down just for style points. That is plus 50 for Gladiators Legion and plus 1 map win for this team right off the bat here.
Yeah, Gladiators Legion going up 1-0 in this matchup. That was a super close round of Busan. All 3 rounds. Very, very close, Ham.
Exactly. I think it really just came down to a lot of those split-second decisions. It's, you know, a lot of people don't have the greatest time watching GOATs these days, but there honestly is a lot of nuance to that play. You have to have the entire team all on the same page in terms of what their target selection is going to be. What's the game plan here? Are we going to shield bash, set up, you know, an Earth Shatter? What exactly are we going to do to try and dismantle this enemy team that's playing exactly the same heroes that we have? So there's no inherent advantages or disadvantages. We check out God's incredible 3K D.Va self-destruct. I mean, that's not something you see all the time these days.
And we saw some good self-destructs from both sides, but you know, I want to go back to this GOATS composition because, you know, you said there's a lot of nuance to it, and a lot of the nuance comes on from cooldown management.
Yes, exactly. And, you know, there's not a lot of damage to be found when you're playing GOATs. So a lot of that is going to be about setting up either your Reinhardt or your Zarya to kind of be the main damage dealer for your team here, as we see that another really great self-destruct from Fried. So, you know, your Zarya, when she gets really charged up, she is a DPS in her own right and can basically just walk up unimpeded to an enemy team if they aren't ready for her. And that's one of the most dangerous things you can see coming your way, GOATs v GOATs.
Well, I think something that really showed itself in this matchup was that D.Va versus D.Va with Gods and Fried going together. You know, they were trying for that record on the self-destruct kill, and I think Gods got it here with those 2 right there. I wonder what those numbers are, but hey, some effective self-destruct comboing with the Earthshatter. Might have been an axe in the end, but that's what we saw. How important is that D.Va play in the whole, you know, grand scheme of our favorite farm animal?
Oh yeah, D.Va is extremely important. Although, to be fair, everybody in GOATs plays a very important role, but D.Va in particular, she's one of the few heroes in GOATs that has any ability to reposition herself extremely quickly. Using that boost, you get up onto the high ground, you can scout the enemy team right off of spawn, you can use that boost to knock around your Reinhardt, and as we saw, hungry D.Vas, you can use that defense matrix to gobble up the enemy Zarya's Graviton Surge. I mean, that is just one of the most tilting things that can happen to you. You work so hard, it finally got Grav. Can't even use it.
Oh man, that's like, you know, you get in, you know, Sisyphus' hell, right? You get up to the top and the boulder rolls right down. That could also be made into a movie here on Hollywood, which will be our next map, and that is going to be our hybrid map. But now we might see some changes in these team comps.
Yeah, really hoping to see these teams flex a little bit away from that Ghost, because we know these players, especially on the side of Gladiators Legion. You got players like Gods, Panker, Rolf, you know, these guys all the way from the OG Cloud9 Apex days, and we know that they are very, very capable on heroes that require very high skill thresholds. Hit scan, for example, as we see actually Second Wind showing right off of spawn. on. And also, Boop, when we talk about Hollywood or really any of these escort or hybrid maps, that streets phase really lends itself to heroes that can use that verticality. Winstons, Divas, Widowmakers, even Doomfists. So I'm hoping to see either one of these teams, once Point A is done and packed away, they swap their composition to make usage of that environment as they work on Point B.
Yeah, so Gladiators Legion will be starting with this Goats comp, triple tank, triple support. We'll be saying it a lot, and you're going to try to see these cooldowns happen. One thing you got to look for is far on that shield bash can open up a ton. And look at this, second wind is going to change out of spawn, but someone is still on that Somber, but not anymore. I thought maybe, you got that 3%. That's so close to AFP, right?
Exactly. A debate a day keeps the doctor away, apparently, as second wind will also be rolling out with that Mirror Zenyatta Goats composition. We saw it quite a bit yesterday. So we see the Reinhardts, just flashing their shields, making hard eye contact is like the Reinhardt mating dance.
Yeah, you hear that, amp it up from that Lucio. Things are about to happen as Gladiators Legion is going to take that space away from second wind and get the first 2 kills of Hollywood. Pride is going to get D-Max. Second wind's going to have to go right back to spawn, Ham.
Yeah, one lost fight will give Gladiators a little bit of an advantage in that ultimate generation, or a lot, should I say. Wow, look at Rolf. Almost up to that Transcendence already within the first fight. That is extremely impressive. A second win, Haku not far behind either, and I'm sure that both of those support ultimates will be coming in play sooner rather than later here, as second win going a different route this time around.
Yeah, Far has been a little bit more effective onto that Brigitte. Let's see if we're going to see that shield bash onto that Reinhardt to open up things for the rest of the team. Rally is down for Gladiators Legion, so they do have that damage mitigation and that armor. Transcendence coming from second wind and Gladiators Legion at the same time, and the rally from second wind will be popped as well. So there's only one ultimate on the field, and it's going to be Graviton Surge from both sides. Who's going to be the first one to drop it will be second wind. This could be an opening that they need. They got to confirm these kills, but that HP is not going low enough. Oh, Panker almost survived through that. The sound barrier is going to keep the rest of second wind alive, but this is a 6v5 for second wind on the objective right now, and the rest of Gladiators Legion are starting to fall.
Losing your Reinhardt, that main tank, with all of that shielding so early on, so unfortunate for Gladiators Legion. I mean, so many of these team fights, Boop, feel like a tale of two grabs, right? Who grabs when, who grabs that, knowing that the enemy has that Transcendence. And unfortunately, this time around, Glads, even though Panker was shielding, Dalton didn't have that ally bubble up on him to keep him safe for just a little bit longer. So that will be second wind nabbing that first point.
That's the cooldowns that we were talking about. Those particle barriers are so important to keep that Reinhardt alive, because when he gets aggressive upon, Dalton can just cleanse him and he can walk right out. But now second wind is going to try to keep the momentum going, but they're pretty even on these ult charges right now. Gladiators Legion close to 5, second wind close to their 5 as well. Earthshatter's not going to hit much. Oh, the Diva will be knocked down. God's going to take a quick nap. The self-destruct will be available for him when he wakes up. Sound barrier for Gladiators Legion has been brought down, so they all have a little bit extra HP. They waited for the shields to go down. The Graviton Surge is out. Self-destruct is out as well and gets fried before he's able to get back into his mech. But there's a self-destruct kill on the other side. He gets 1.5, so Gods is going to lose his mech in this, but there's a possibility he might come back. But no, second wind is going to continue the momentum on the payload.
Dalton just trying to stall out for a little bit more time right there. Gladiators and second wind really going ult for ult with each other. Both of them expending very heavily in that last fight, but it will be second wind with that heavier hand this time around. We saw that Frill actually went to go and try to set up for that Earthshatter. Unfortunately, didn't quite come through this time around. But Gladiators, they're still going to have their Graviton Surge online. Not too much else in their coffers right now.
Both Lucios have amped it up, so they're going to extra healing and extra speed will be done here very, very soon. Dalton has that Graviton Surge. When will he release it? It's got to be pretty soon. The particle barriers, he does have that allied barrier available, so the Reinhardt, he can cleanse and get him in position. Akawa is going to use that Earthshatter. It's not going to be enough to get those kills, however. Brigitte, 4-second win. Frill is taken down a little bit, but the rally is going to save him. The Inspire healing as well, as Frill's going to get the double kill thanks to a Graviton Surge from Gladiators Legion, actually. They got everyone brought up, and the way that they funneled in, second wind was able to get the damage on a variety of people. Frill, with that nice little mace, able to get that damage and start out with those 2 kills.
Mace to your face. Ugh, one of the worst voice lines you can hear anytime you're playing your ranked games, but that was really well played by second wind, knowing that Gladiators probably didn't have a whole lot of defensive ultimates online, baiting them into using their own big CC ultimates and then just doubling back. Surprise, we got our own.
Akawa might have pushed that Earth Shatter just a little too soon, was blocked by that shield. Oh, and it's going to be the same story for Panker on the other side. Self-destruct coming from second win, gets two, and Panker must have gotten shield bash because his shield was available for a short amount of time. Far, though, is going to go down as well. So second win has had this momentum since point A. Gladiators Legion's got to find a way to take it away from him.
Yeah, they got to take it away soon. Second win still have over 3 minutes left to finish out Hollywood, and that is an eternity when you're facing down this third point here. Second win pushing up very aggressively here. Akawa, backed by the rest of his team, knows that he's probably not going to be caught out away from the rest of that healing. So now Glods, he's looking for that self-destruct angle potentially.
Here we go. The micro missiles is going to be all that he needs for right now. He's going to wait for a better opportunity. And looking at the rest of his team, Far could just shield bash that Reinhardt. He can grab it really quickly. The Graviton Surge coming from second window is going to be enough to take Panker down. Gods does unleash that self-destruct. It will not get anybody. The Earth Shatter, though, will knock Poops down, and that's going to be enough to grab that Lucio. So less healing for Gladiators Legion. But now we're going to talk about spawns, because the Hollywood spawn on this last point is so defensively favored.
It's so defensively favored, but there aren't any ultimates online for Gladiators Legion. Goats really relies very heavily on those in-game abilities in particular. Dalton is going to be the closest one. God's now swapping onto the Desperation Hammond just for a little bit of extra stall, but second win have both defensive ultimates online. They could sustain this fight for forever.
I believe that Graviton Surge was eaten. Frill gonna get another double kill as well, so the numbers game is in second win. They actually have the sound barrier to help out as well. The self-destruct will seal the deal for second win. They will get all 3 points on Hollywood.
That was an incredible push by Second Wind. Even given large time banks, so often we see teams get held up around that third corner. It can be so difficult to get that clean team wipe that you need to finally push the payload through against that defensive spawn advantage like you mentioned, Boop. Gladiators Legion is looking a little bit rough for them. They have to not only also finish out Hollywood, but they're going to be hoping for, you know, some kind of time bank as well to give themselves as much of an advantage moving into a potential third round.
Yeah, someone who's been a little bit more quiet this round has been Gods. I mean, he had all of those self-destructs, but, you know, even though it's not about those self-destruct kills, you know, you got to show up on that kill feed eventually.
Yeah, everybody kind of needs to chip in here. There's not a lot of damage to be found between the 6 members of a Goats composition. Dalton, unfortunately, as great of a Zarya as he is, can't really solo carry the team. Glads have to be buying time and space to make that Zarya into that frightening DPS that she can be.
And so we are walking into the Gladiators Legion attack here. Second Wind was able to get all 3 rounds with a little over 2 minutes in the time bank. Anytime you have over 2 minutes on pretty much any map, you're going to feel pretty good about that, particularly on these hybrid maps. So you don't get a lot of time on that last point when you do take point 2. But Gladiators Legion is looking like they're going to be repping that same team comp as the Second Wind.
Yeah, Panker was one of the members of Glads that went down very frequently early in those fights. And as we've said before, you need your main tank to be up, healthy, and playing confidently, playing aggressively. And unfortunately, that's a loss that, you know, especially as a defensive team, you can't suffer. Otherwise, you're going to be forced to give up so much space, as we saw Second Wind able to basically roll through Streets phase unimpeded. And right now, oh man, they are pushing their advantage here. Everybody stayed so far forward in front of the choke, and they're going to get punished for it.
Oh, and punished indeed. So when you try to get a defense that close, you can take 30 seconds off the clock from the attacking team, but we did not see that. But now they're not going to have any time to come back onto this spawn and contest. Gladiators Legion will be taking this first point, and if they're able to hold the momentum themselves, they could challenge Second Wind's time bank.
Risk did not pay off for the potential reward for Second Wind here. They're not even going to be able to get another contest here. Wisely, I would say, they chose to, you know, hold themselves back, wait for the Streets phase fight. The worst news possible is that Reinhardt overextends just a little bit, gets taken down, and that's going to be even more space lost for the defenders.
Well, a big thing too, Second Wind wasn't able to get that ult charge, and Gladiators Legion, for getting that team fight and that team kill, they're going to have a ton of ultimate charge for themselves. They are very far ahead in ultimate economy. Just look at those tanks right now. You know, I said something about Gods. There's a feeling in my soul that the next time he throws that self-destruct, there will be some kills on at the board. Rally, though, going down on at both sides. They're going to try to get that damage mitigation on the rest of the team. Graviton Surge, though, is really good from Second Wind. Will they be able to get those kills? No, they won't. Gods has that self-destruct. Will this be big? I think it might. Yes,
Yay!
it will. 2 kills, 2.5 kills for Gods. You know, sometimes you just gotta know.
Exactly. You got to feel it deep down in your gut there. Things looked good for second wind, waiting till Rolf's Transcendence died down just a little bit to throw their grab, hoping to get a little bit of damage through all of that Enlightenment healing, but unfortunately Akawa missed his charge. Nobody saw that. But second wind eventually forced to give up that space with an even more quality Graviton Surge, followed up by that self-destruct. There's so few things you can do against a well-placed Diva Bomb.
I like to call that a tactical reposition instead of a mischarge. Ooh, the Earthshatter and the self-destruct is out of there, but because of that Earthshatter, no one from second wind was able to do anything, as that was what we call a fatty shatty.
Exactly. That was an excellent play right there from Glads. And the best part is they were able to win that fight off of just one ultimate. Ultimate economy and rotating those abilities is key when you're running a GOATS composition. Dalton just poking, looking to get a little bit more charge to bring himself up to that Graviton Surge. Second wind now, they're going to be scrambling for a defense. They haven't really had a clean hold so far this map.
Look at this. Over 5 minutes to finish Hollywood right now. This has got to be a huge defense for second wind. Are they ready for it? Let's see. Gladiators Legion has 3 ultimates. There's the potential that Gods will have that self-destruct by the end of this fight, depending on how long this poking phase does last. Second wind, though, is pretty close to a lot of their ultimates as well. Dolphin has that Graviton Surge first, though. Here, very close to Earthshatter is a down. Does knock him down as well. Gets at least 2 of them on the ground. And second wind, for the first time this game, or this round, is going to put up a defense.
Dong and a team kill as well. Kudos to second wind. If you need to put your foot down, this is, where you have to do it. Dalton, though, tried his absolute best. Panker went down so incredibly low. Akawa saw that opening, smashed down that hammer. Dalton's bubble just a fraction of a second too late to save his Reinhardt. But now moving in, they're going to have some weapons of their own, but it's going to be Mirror dropping the grab first.
Are they going to get any kills out of it? That seems to be a story here. Mirror dropping that grab and not getting that many kills. Gladiators Legion's going to drop their own. Self-destruct, though, might distract some Gladiators Legion, but really good shield from Panker. That shield bash from Frail just a little too late. But look at this. Gods is going to get another self-destruct kill, and just a regular one as well. With that double kill, Gladiators Legion is going to get that momentum back and continue moving this payload.
Yeah, Gladiators coming back here. Hey, everybody loses a fight every once in a while. Panker now charging into the spawn. That is a ballsy Reinhardt, but he gets the ally shield, and Dalton's actually able to pick up Mirror. That's incredible. Not only will that be at least 10 seconds bought off the clock, but that means no ultimate generation for Mirror while he's still in spawn. Dalton already with an advantage, going to have even more space now.
Yeah, he is close. There is potential for second wind to get that Graviton Surge before the end of this round. You know what? It's going to happen. The Earthshatter, though, is going to make things a lot more complicated, as that is a big one as well. The Diva has been pinned, but an Earthshatter from Akawa is going to keep that Reinhardt from doing the damage that he can. And now the trades are happening right now. Panker's going to get that kill onto Akawa. So with second wind not having that Reinhardt, we could expect the rest of them to fall unless the rest of second wind really pulls their weight. Transcendence is going to be part of pulling their weight, but with Pride getting out of that mech, they're going to be down that tank. So no Reinhardt, no tank. It's going to be pretty hard right now. Rolf getting the kill, and look at this. They are pushing them off the payload just a little bit, and another Earthshatter going to seal the deal for them potentially here on Hollywood. Mirror with that Discord Orb going to be taken down very, very quickly, and we thought 2 minutes was good. Gladiators Legion is going to end with a little bit more than that.
Glad. So you ain't seen nothing yet. That was an incredible push. Both teams looking very comfortable on their attacking phases. It seemed like the entire round, second wind was just so caught off guard by the aggressive tempo that Glads was playing at. Every single time the two teams actually clashed in that full team fight, all 12 people on the line, second wind, it was like, all right, we're waiting, we're still talking. What's the plan here? Oh, we're going to throw out the self-destruct, but by the time that communication has transpired, Glads has already shattered your entire team.
And some good shatters all around for Gladiators Legion. Panker really picking up his weight, throwing down that hammer, and we've got a game for you folks. 3 minutes and 2 seconds in the time bank for Gladiators Legion, so that means second wind will be attacking first. Are we going to see any changes? Possibly, but possibly not. I can almost guarantee you Frill's going to use that as a sonic and scouting arrow and then change, but crazier things have happened, but we can talk about that defense.
Yes, defensively, we have Glads out here already, repping that Zenyatta Goats once again. They have had really great moments when everything is online for this team, synced up. So hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's all going to be once again down to all of those micro management, those small ability usages.
And so the gates have opened. We are starting on extra innings for second win on this attack, and the way this game goes, we could potentially see multiple points here in overtime, but hey, we got one thing to do first. You got to capture a second win. You're going to get about 2 team fights. You can get those ultimates on the line. Let's see if they're going to be able to. The amp it up is going to be there. Are they going to throw themselves onto this point, or are they going to wait for a pick? It looks like they're waiting just for the right moment. Mirror has been taken pretty low. Oh, and good particle barrier onto Akawa is going to allow him to get healed as well. Oh, and Fried's going to start it off with the first blood onto a Panker. The DMAC on the Godspeed. Second win is going to have this point pretty easily.
Oh, that was so incredibly close. Both of the Reinhardts and Divas in very risky positions right there. It's like, you know, you ever see those mountain goats butting heads? It's, you know, really a toss-up a lot of these times in the one-to-one matchups between these main tanks. Who's going to be coming out a winner? But this time around, unfortunately, you saw Gods swooping in, trying to knock some of the second wind members away from his Reinhardt, only ended up demeched himself. However, he does get a little bit of redemption here, taking down Frill right off the bat.
2 kills for Gladiators. Legion is huge here. So there's only 55 seconds on the clock for second wind, and now they also have those ultimates. Earth Shatter for Panker. Rolf has that Transcendence. Haku's going to be able to match, but Karkar a little further ahead than Pooks.
Ooh, and look at this positioning. Panker, oh no, he doesn't know that they totally see him. Great scouting from Fried right there. Finds out Panker immediately. He is forced back to his team and does live.
That was an actual tactical reposition that we just saw. Using the charge to get back to his team. It's going to be on cooldown just a little bit longer. Earth Shatter not really going to get much. The Transcendence is going to help anyone who was taken down. The Reinhardts are going to attack each other. Panker getting taken down to about 50 health, but the healing is there. The self-destruct is going to be blocked by that shield. God's going to have that self-destruct as well. He's going to die during it. Sound Barrier dropped for second wind as well. Akawa dies with that Earth Shatter. They're going to want that one back most likely. Sound Barrier from Gladiators Legion, though, keeping them alive. Is this going to be enough for them to take this defense? It might be. We're about to enter overtime, friends. Will Gladiators Legion hold on this defense? Fried is going to be demeched. Earth Shatter is going to be back for a Panker, but you know, right now, nothing to it. Rolf will be taken down. Earth Shatter now from a second win. He was able to come back. Pooks was taken down onto the ground, but it wasn't able to kill him. Akawa's going to get that kill on too far, so this is the opening. Second win needs to try to get back onto this payload. Really good particle barrier onto Gods to mitigate the damage from that pin. A Graviton Surge from Dalton is going to try to slow second win down just a little bit more. Second win will have that armor, though, and they are winning this fight, HamTornado.
Oh, second win. The sails are billowing right here against all odds. They still managed to stay in this overtime fight. That was incredible. I mean, we saw what Glads was trying to do. They felt so incredibly close. At one point, I think it was like a 3v3 on the payload. It really could have gone any way. And Gladiators Legion, knowing that they threw ultimate after ultimate, but the respawns just favored second win so strongly. They're now rounding the second bend. They can see point B.
And Akawa has another Earth Shatter. Mirror is going to get that kill. This is a 6v4 on the payload. Right now, he's going to charge up. Will he use this Earth Shatter to try to get this second point? We are going to be in overtime until the end of this round, my friends, and it looks like second win could get this second point.
Oh, Gladiators Legion, they have all the bodies. They got to touch soon if they want to do this. Rolf is so close to that Transcendence. They're not going to risk it. They know they have to keep that Zenyatta healthy, alive. Gladiators Legion, if they can just remove second win from this payload, overtime has been lasting so long. Once second win gets off for even a millisecond, this round will be over.
Well, and the ultimate economy is actually pretty even right now, so this is going to be an even fight. Sound Barrier is going to come out. Earth Shatter is going to knock a lot of Gladiators Legion down, and that is why you're seeing Fried get those self-destruct kills. Good stuff, second win. This payload is still moving.
Fried cooking them and booking them. Incredible. At this pace, second win may well finish out the round. They still have Sound Barrier. They're about to get rallied. They're going to have Graviton Surge, all of the tanks. They want to maintain this high charge for Mirror, pushing up aggressively, looking to get some nades in. They don't want to waste that high Zarya energy. Gladiators Legion, though, they still have a chance. They only need one clean team wipe.
That second win are going to have the ultimates they need. Graviton Surge could be how they get to this last point, but Gladiators Legion has an Earth Shatter of their own. He's going to go ahead and drop it. It was a little early, and they're going to charge into each other. Self-destruct not going to get much, but Mirror's going to get that first kill. On too far, he's going to get a double kill in this fight. Second win still winning out on this payload in overtime. It started in overtime at the beginning of the second point, my friends. They might get 6 points.
This is incredible, Boop. I don't think Gladiators Legion can believe it either. They expended so heavily in that last fight. Pooks will have have the sound barrier, but that's about all they're going to have. Sans, Pankers, Earthshatter, who has had a very hard time landing them thus far.
Sound barrier used for Gladiators Legion. Panker's going to have that Earthshatter. God's finally getting the kill for Gladiators Legion, but look at this, another double for Amir getting pooks. That means the AoE healing's not going to be available for them as far as also going down. Second Wind is going to get 6 points. 3 points in overtime, 6 points total. Gladiators Legion, 3 minutes look pretty good, but you got to finish the map.
Exactly. That 3 minutes is looking less and less optimistic as Second Wind plowed through Hollywood right there. Incredible discipline with their ultimates, not to blow everything, knowing that they had to continue. They have more fights ahead of them, so we're not going to use everything that we have online. We always have just, you know, a little bit, a quarter tank left for that point B push, and then by the time we have that, we know that Haku's going to have a Transcendence up. We've been talking, you know, quite a bit about the tank battle, the Zaryas, the Brigidas on both sides of these teams, but do want to shout out Haku, Karkar, and, you know, Rolf and Pooks as well. Being that awesome Zenyatta in that backline, Jonacking people from across the map. We've seen both sides really picking up quite a lot of those frags, finishing the kills for their teams, and also just having that Transcendence online so often. It feels like every time Dalton dropped a big grab, it was like, oh no, it's going to be over. Surprise! You know, enlightenment, you know, hits you in some of the most unexpected times.
Exactly. Hey, is that a personal story?
Yes, we'll talk about it later.
Yeah, enlightenment. Just look out for it, my friends. Gladiators Legion have to get all 3 points here in Hollywood. They have 3 minutes. They're gonna have to do this in overtime, so the time bank almost doesn't mean anything at this point. They know what to do, though. That is the advantage of going second. They know exactly what they need to continue this map. 6 points for Second Wind. I don't remember the last time I saw 3 points taken here on Hollywood in overtime, but Gladiators Legion is going to try to do the same thing, and the way their offenses have gone in the, you know, in this round so far, we could totally see that Panker getting taken down a little bit below half, and they're just going to feed their supports just a little bit of ultimate charge instead. But Second Wind is aggressing a little bit. They're holding a little bit farther forward. The amp it up is coming from Gladiators Legion. They're going to try to get that pick here, and they are going to get one onto Akawa. That's a huge one that possibly is better than some of the supports, but will they be able to get the other ones? No, as Karkar's going to get a double kill on that Lucio. Those are just last hits. Frill, you know, managing his health, getting around half health, but hey, it's going to be enough. They're going to push Gladiators Legion back, but hey, this 3 minutes is still going. 2 minutes and 13 seconds left. They have to get A.
Yeah, Gladiators, you gotta get A for the chance to finish out Hollywood once again. That's one fight, one defense down for Second Wind. You see how important that focus fire is. Both of the Reinhardts, the moment that Discord went onto them, if they weren't shielding themselves, they got melted immediately. Panker, though, will have the advantage in that he'll have an Earthshatter for this very next fight.
All right, 1 minute and 48 seconds to grab point A, and then they got to grab the next two. Rally coming from Second Wind. Haku just have that Transcendence. Earthshatter is going to knock a couple people down. There's going to be no Brig available for Second Wind, but they weren't able to get that kill. The particle barriers for the Zaryas are down as well. Dalton very close to that Graviton Surge. That might be what they need to grab the rest of this point, particularly because Gods has that self-destruct. Rally is therefore far. Let's see that shield bash onto Akawa. Self-destruct is going to go out for Second Wind first. Are they going to get that kill? Yes, they will. They have a quad kill. Hey, 1 kill used to be enough, but 4 is going to be much better.
Oh no, I believe in math. Boopasaurus, that was incredible. Straight cash on me. Holy cow. That is not something we see every day. I mean, is Fry just making his own highlight reel right now? I'm pretty sure. But Second Wind, they hold strong once again, and Gladiators now down to their last minute. However, that is going to be a painful stagger. No Diva, no defense matrix.
So this is a 6v5 on the objective. This is the opening that Gladiators Legion has been looking for. Akawa does have the Earthshatter that can stop the rest of Gladiators Legion in their tracks. Gods is going to be the one that's getting knocked down. Akawa is going to miss that pin sound barrier from Gladiators Legion. It's going to keep them a little bit healthier, but Second Wind is going to continue getting the kills. However, Transcendence keeping Gladiators Legion alive. They have 35 seconds, so if they all die right now, they will get a second opportunity.
One last opportunity, but it is going to be a scramble to put a toe on the objective. Nobody is going to be in the correct position, and Second Wind know it. They are pushing so far forward, aggressive. They want a red carpet welcome. They want a win to tie things up here on Hollywood.
Hey, the last time this happened, however, Second Wind did lose out. The Earthshatter only getting fried, but that's not going to be enough. The Second Wind is going to get the first 2 kills. Once again, there's no way they can get to the point unless they forgot someone. The Ghost, they got forgot Pooks, and he's on the point right now. Hey, that's exactly what we see see right here, overtime will commence, but will Gladiators Legion be able to get on at this point? Pook's being super annoying right now, lasting longer than most would at this point in time. Hammond's going to be the one now that needs to stall, using that shield, using that pile drive to get some extra time there, but 3 minutes wasn't enough, it doesn't look like. It's a self-destruct Earthshatter combo, isn't going to get anything, but the overtime wick has ended. Gladiators Legion is going to lose this out. Second win, getting 3 points on their second push.
That is 6 points total for a second win to tie things up 1-1 in what is really turning out to be a super competitive matchup from two teams that you wouldn't have expected this.
Yeah, exactly. And so we're tied up. We are going into halftime with that even score, and things couldn't be closer here. 6 points, super impressive. Busan went all 3 rounds, 2 of them 99-100, so things couldn't be better right now, Ham.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, this is the crux of the GOATS composition, though. You have all of those great parts. You know that all of your players are more than capable of performing. It's just going to come down to that communication. So often we saw that Panker was one of the first members of Glads to fall, especially in that extra round. You know, maybe the nerves are a little bit frazzled. People aren't quite talking as much as they used to. Target selection and target focus is going to be key anytime you're coming up mirror GOATS composition. So hopefully you get that break in, you know, get some Capri Sun, rest up, collect yourself, and Glads will be coming back in with a vengeance.
Hey, only moms can give Capri Sun, so maybe they have a house mom there that's going to be able to give them that special little pouch. But one thing we do want to highlight here is going to be the Diva bombs and those self-destructs from both sides. I think Gods won the Busan self-destruct number count, but Fried is going to be the winner of this one.
Exactly. Oh man, Diva self-destructs. If I had $1 for every Diva self-destruct we've seen, I'd have $17 probably, but that is very impressive. Oftentimes, you know, off tanks are not going to be the most flashy players that you see on these teams, but GOATS really gives you the opportunity to shine, as we see 4K from Fried. That's just
and then you see like the 1 kill on the Lucio from Gods, and you know, usually we'd be like, oh my god, that's great, but when it follows up 4, it's just kind of a
exactly. It's like, you know, opening for LeBron James. It's like, hey.
Well, I know after that round, everyone, the players, us, and you, the audience, probably need a little bit of break, so we're going to go ahead and hit halftime. We'll see you on the other side.